Hi everybody, and welcome to our second episode of the Healthy Eating video series. This episode is called Exploring the 5 Food Groups. Last time, we finished off by introducing the food groups, which are part of the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating. As we said, we need to eat from all 5 food groups daily to get enough of the nutrients and energy we need for good health. In order to figure out how much food we need from these groups, we can look to the number of serves shown next to each one. You can see here that all of the food groups have different sizes on the plate, and this is because the serving size numbers are also different. If we look at vegetables, for example, we can see that it is recommended to have 5 servings per day, and this group also takes up a very big part of the plate. If we compare this with fruits, we see that it is recommended to have 2 servings of fruits per day, and this group is also smaller. Now, this doesn't mean that the smaller food groups aren't as important as the bigger ones. All it means is that we need to eat different amounts of different groups to get enough of the nutrients in each group. Now, let's go through each of these food groups, look at what a serve is, and find out more about the nutrients they give us. Let's start with fruits. Like we said, it is recommended to have 2 servings of fruits a day. But what does this look like? Well, a serve is about 150 grams of fresh fruit and could look like a large piece of fruit, such as a banana or apple. It could also be 2 smaller pieces of fruit, like 2 apricots or kiwis. It could be 1 cup of diced or canned fruit, half a cup of fruit juice, or a small handful of dried fruits like sultanas. So if someone wanted to get 2 serves of fruits a day, they could eat 1 banana and 2 apricots, which would be 2 serves, or a punnet of berries and half a cup of juice. We should try and get most of our serves from whole fruits instead of fruit juice. This is because whole fruits have fiber, which helps us to digest food easily and quickly, preventing constipation. Another important nutrient found in fruits is vitamin C, which keeps our gums healthy and strengthens our immune system, protecting us from diseases. Next, we have vegetables and beans. We need 5 serves of this group daily. A serve is about 75 grams and could look like half a cup of cooked veggies, such as broccoli, carrots, or pumpkin, or half a cup of cooked beans, like chickpeas or lentils. It could be 1 cup of raw salad veggies, like baby spinach, lettuce, or cucumber. It could be 1 tomato, half a medium potato, or sweet potato. Now, if you're a bit unsure of what a serve might look like, see if you have any measuring cups lying around. You can add some vegetables or other foods inside, and I think this can be a really helpful way to familiarize ourselves with serve sizes. Another way is to use your hands. For most people, half a cup is very similar to the amount of food you can fit in 1 cupped hand. So what this means is 1 cupped hand is equal to 1 serve of cooked veg. Whether or not we are having fruits and vegetables fresh, frozen, or canned, they are all great for us. It also doesn't matter if we choose organic or non-organic foods, as there is no nutritional or health difference between these. When it comes to nutrients, the different colors of fruits and vegetables can tell us what vitamins and minerals they are rich in. For example, orange veggies like carrots and pumpkin give our body vitamin A, which protects our skin and eye health. On the other hand, green veg like spinach and broccoli are high in folate, which we need to repair damage to our body. This is why it is so important to eat a rainbow of different colored foods from each of the food groups, so that we can get a rainbow of different nutrients. And it makes you think, maybe Skittles were actually onto something when they told us to taste the rainbow, although probably not in the way they advertised. Next, we have grains. We should aim for 5 to 7 serves of grains per day. A serve of grains could look like a slice of bread, a crumpet, half a bread roll or flatbread like Lebanese bread, 2/3 cup of cereal, or 2 Weet-Bix. It could also be full crackers or half a cup of cooked grain such as rice, pasta, oats, noodles, bulgur, or couscous. And this is about the size of 1 fist. When choosing grains, it is recommended that we try to eat mostly whole grains. Naturally, grains have an outer shell called the bran, which is rich in fiber that we want for good gut health, along with other nutrients. However, when grains are processed to make things like white flour, white bread, and white pasta, the bran is removed and much of the nutrition is lost. By choosing foods that have the words whole grain or whole meal in their name, this will mean we are getting much more nutrition, as these foods have the nutrient-rich bran intact. For some people, though, switching over from white grains like white pasta to wholemeal pasta can be difficult, as these foods can be a little bit chewier than the white versions. If this is a challenge, what I would recommend is trying to choose high-fiber versions, like high-fiber pasta or bread. These foods are still made of white flour, so they're quite soft, but they are still a step in a healthier direction due to being higher in fiber. Next, we have protein foods. We should aim for 2.5 serves of protein foods a day. This could look like 65 grams of lean meat, like beef, lamb, or pork, which is about the size of your palm. It could be 80 grams of chicken or turkey, 100 grams of cooked fish, or about 1 small can of tuna. It could be 2 medium eggs, a cup of beans or tofu, or even a 30-gram handful of nuts and seeds. 2 tablespoons of nut and seed butters like peanut butter are also a serve. These foods are called protein foods, as they are all, unsurprisingly, great sources of protein, which we need for strong muscles. You might also notice that beans are in the protein food group as well as the vegetable food group. This is because not only are they a great source of protein, but they are also rich in many of the nutrients that are found in vegetables. This is one of the reasons I try to really encourage people to be more familiar with beans, as they really are kind of a superfood, I would say. Another nutrient protein foods give us is iron, which our body uses to create healthy red blood cells that give us oxygen. We want to try and choose mostly lean meats where possible, as they are lower in fat, which is better for our heart health. With fish, on the other hand, we want to try and choose fatty fish, as they are a great source of omega-3, which is important for brain health. We should try and go for 2 to 3 serves of fatty fish per week. Finally, we have dairy foods. We should aim for 3.5 serves of dairy foods a day. Some examples include a cup of milk, 2 slices or 40 grams of hard cheese, half a cup of soft cheese like ricotta, half a cup of evaporated milk, or 3/4 cup of yogurt. One of the nutrients we get from dairy foods is calcium, which we need for strong bones and teeth. Now, when it comes to dairy foods, there are a lot of people who can struggle to eat them because of lactose intolerance. For these people, there are healthy alternatives, such as lactose-free milk, as well as plant milks like soy milk, which can be a great source of calcium. Just make sure to read the nutrition label of plant milks to see if they have calcium added, as not all of them do. When it comes to dairy-free cheeses and yogurts, however, these do not count as dairy foods, as they are not a good source of calcium. Just like with protein foods, we should try and have mostly low-fat or light dairy foods, as they are better for our heart health. And that's the 5 food groups. Something I did want to mention is that, although we just talked about what is recommended in general for teenagers, the amount of food we actually eat depends on a lot of different things, which affect how much energy we need. For example, males tend to eat more than females, taller people more than shorter people, and athletes more than those less active. So a very tall male athlete is probably going to need more serves than shown here, while a small female who isn't as active might eat less serves. This is just meant to be a guide, not perfect instructions that everyone must follow exactly. So don't feel bad if you find yourself eating more or less than what is shown here. Now, on the bottom right of this guide, which we are seeing for the first time, is a group we haven't mentioned, which are called sometimes foods. The reason they are called this is because, unlike the 5 food groups, we don't need to eat these foods to be healthy, and they don't really give us much nutrition. They are also rich in many of the things we don't want too much of, like sugar, salt, and fat, which we'll be covering in a later video. Even though there is no official limit for this group, I think we should try and eat no more than 2 serves of sometimes foods a day. A serve could look like 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 slices of processed meat like salami or pepperoni, 1.5 sausages, 3 sweet biscuits, 4 squares of chocolate, a donut, a slice of cake, 12 hot chips, a can of soft drink, or a third of a meat pie. Now, when looking at all of this, it can understandably be really overwhelming to think about how we're supposed to eat from all 5 food groups every day. How can we make sure we're getting enough serves without weighing and counting everything? The good news is there are lots of strategies we can use to make it much easier. In our next video, we'll talk about what healthy eating looks like on a plate, as well as throughout the day. I hope I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.